Friends, before we begin today's horror story, I want to share something interesting with you. Almost 80% of the people who watch our videos enjoy them but still haven't subscribed to our channel yet. If you're one of those 80%, then you just have to do one simple thing. Look right below this video. You'll see a subscribe button. Just press it. That's all you need to do. And if you feel like it, press the bell icon too, so that whenever we upload a new horror story, you get to watch it first. This story is almost 40 years old. It dates back to 1980. Kamala was a 23-year-old woman, and everything in her life was going fine until one day her father suddenly disappeared. She searched for him everywhere, but couldn't find him. Her mother had already passed away years before, so after her father went missing, Kamala was left completely alone. After weeks of searching with no success, everyone gave up hope. Her relatives decided that Kamala shouldn't live alone in that state. So her uncle and aunt arranged her marriage with Ajit, the eldest son of the Prabhakar family. Ajit was kind and caring. He supported Kamala through her grief, and soon she began to feel a little better. She started adjusting to her new home, her new family, and slowly, happiness returned to her life. Everyone in the family loved her dearly, especially her brother-in-law, Rajesh. But then, things began to change. One night, while Kamala was sleeping, she suddenly woke up to the sound of someone crying. She looked around. Ajit was fast asleep beside her. There was no one else in the room. The crying sound came again, but still, no one was there. Kamala thought maybe she was just imagining things, so she closed her eyes and went back to sleep. But from that day on, she began hearing those crying voices every night. Sometimes she felt like those cries belonged to her father, begging for help. Terrified, Kamala told Ajit and Rajet about the voices. They thought it was just her imagination. Maybe she missed her father too much. But as the days passed, Kamala's health started deteriorating. She became short-tempered, angry all the time, and started threatening to kill anyone who disagreed with her. Everyone thought grief had driven her mad, but the voices never stopped. One evening, Kamala followed the sound of the cries. They were coming from an old locked room in the mansion. Inside, she found a black idol, a strange-looking statue. The moment she touched it, she felt an unbearable tightness in her chest, like she couldn't breathe. Panicking, she dropped the idol, gasping for air. Just as she turned to leave, something heavy hit her foot. When she looked down, she saw a human skull, and around it, scattered bones and bloodstains everywhere. Terrified, Kamala noticed a letter lying near the idol. She picked it up and began to read. "This idol is cursed. It has haunted our ancestors for generations." As soon as she finished reading, Kamala heard her father's screams echo through the room. The idol began shaking violently on its own. A heavy darkness surrounded her, and she fainted. When Kamala opened her eyes, she was in her bedroom, surrounded by her family. She told them everything, but they said they had found her unconscious in the living room, not in any old room. They insisted it must have been a bad dream and gave her medicine to rest. But that night, Kamala was never the same again. After dinner, Ajit came into their room, but Kamala wasn't in bed. He found her standing in a dark corner, facing the wall, laughing uncontrollably. When he called her name, she turned around, tears streaming down her face, and whispered, "I'm innocent. Please save me." Ajit was shaken. He held her, trying to calm her down and somehow put her back to bed. But the next day, things got worse. Kamala's face had grown pale, her eyes sunken, her voice changed. She threatened anyone who called her name, as if she wasn't Kamala anymore. The family was terrified. At night, Kamala would laugh and cry hysterically, sometimes at the same time. They thought she had gone insane, but then came the night that turned their home into a nightmare. One evening, Ajit's father was sipping tea in his room when he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his back, as if something had pierced through it. He turned around and saw Kamala standing there, laughing like a maniac. Her fingernails were buried deep into his back. He screamed in pain. The family rushed in, somehow pulled her away, and tied her to the bed. But late that night, Ajit woke up, and she was gone. He ran to his father's room and saw Kamala attacking him again. Before he could stop her, she pounced on him like a wild animal, tearing his flesh apart with her hands and teeth. The entire house filled with screams and chaos. No one could stop her. Ajit and his mother locked Kamala inside the room with her father's body. Inside, Kamala screamed, "I'll eat you all. I'll kill everyone." Ajit's mother realized the horrifying truth. Kamala was possessed by the dark power of that cursed idol. That night, she took her sons and fled the mansion. Days later, the police found 4 dead bodies in the house: Ajit, his parents, and Kamala. Rayesh was never found again. Locals say that even today, Kamala's spirit still roams that mansion, killing anyone who dares to enter. The mansion remains abandoned to this day. Friends, our animated horror stories will continue every Monday. And now, every Friday, we'll bring you a new episode of our thrilling podcast, Ankandeki, where real people share their true horror experiences and unbelievable conspiracy theories. Just like you've loved our horror stories, show the same love to our new podcast too. Our first guest is an amazing storyteller, SRP, who shares spine-chilling tales from the mountains. So after this video, don't forget to watch the first episode of Ankandeki. The link is in the pinned comment.